gamers, they want a game to start. Like the desire for them to have the game start already is the opposite of what girls want in a relationship. They always want the pre-step.
Where is this going? Wait, where is this going?
I think we're projecting a little bit here. I think that's projection right there.
Anyways, without further discussion into that topic, let's go ahead and jump into the caster's desk because our first game ban pick is now underway. So let's go ahead and send it to the caster's desk.
Well, this should be pretty quick because they already drafted earlier, so they're just gonna speed through this. We're just gonna have to like read these draft picks really quickly. Looks like Varus, Ezreal, Garen, Vayne, and Seraphine. And then we're going Lulu, Kai'Sa, Lee Sin, Orianna, and they're hovering the Darius right now. So analyze away, I guess.
That was a really good draft. Oh my god, that went so quick. So much thought put into this, I gotta say. No, of course, Kappa right there. No, I'm looking at the Liyab comp. I do enjoy it quite a bit. It was heavily focused. I know, actually, they switched sides, and I'm a little bit confused. That actually really put my brain in a bad situation.
Dave is gonna switch back and forth between the.
Oh, okay, all good, all good. But yeah, Sengoku Gaming, I'm mainly thinking of their draft here, is a very siege comp focused draft. You got Garen is gonna be a frontliner, but he's not really made to like soak up damage all that much. He's like a brawler, and that's what he does. But then you got a Vayne, you got a Seraphine, you got Ezreal, you got Varus. Like, they are going to trans siege, and the thing is, if they fall behind, they're going to be in so much trouble. And when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing a Lulu, I'm seeing a Lee Sin. Lee Sin's dive potential paired up with a Lulu is going to be absolutely mind-boggling. So, of course, you're looking at the Lee Sin here. See if he can get ahead in the jungle and get some good lane pressure early on. If he can do so, I think that we might be having a little bit of a hard time for Sengoku Gaming because their comp is so reliable around the fact of they need to get ahead. If they fall behind, their comp is going to be really hard to get back into it. Other than you have Vayne is a character that can come back really easily.
Wait a second. They have Varus and Ezreal.
Yeah, that's the thing. I am a little bit confusion here, but we'll see.
So,
and Vayne. So Vayne should be AD. Like, Vayne could go top lane.
No, Vayne is lane. Vayne looks like jungle. Or wait, are they trying to do? Wait, what's going on? Are they redoing
the scan again? They can do a lot of flex picks. They can do a lot of flex picks. That's the thing. So I'm a little bit unsure of where they're going to go. Like, they're going to go, of course, with the Smite jungle Vayne, which I don't think is like the best jungler. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how that's going to work.
This is such a weird comp that I think it might have been a mistake. Like, are they thinking we're going to remake again? What's happening here? Like, it's too weird for me. Oh, so they don't want to show the real comp. I see. Okay, well, that's kind of disappointing. We wanted to see the best coming out here from from Sengoku, but I guess it doesn't really matter in the end. First seed and second seed doesn't matter the groups. We just do a random drawing. So we'll have fun with this anyway.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of fun time for us overall. Going to see exactly what's going to be happening in this game. Hopefully, it's going to be a fun one all around. But I'm looking at it, like, so far, not going to have too much. Potentially going to go for a little bit of an invade, which you are going to be seeing some early river aggression. Seraphine, Vayne, going to be respectful of that one. No, they can't take that fight. But they are going for 2-2 push currently with also the Ezreal and the Varus down in the bottom side of the jungle. And they're going to try and just get a little bit of information, some early vision to try and get that intel early on as Gambit and Miggie are pushing a little bit further away, trying to potentially contest that red, but they just know that they can't afford to take that fight, and they're going to go back to their farming stage.
I'm just looking at this and thinking, like, Sengoku, this might be just a 1,000 IQ play from Sengoku, right? Because if they win, they're totally in Liyab's heads. Like, we just picked a troll comp and beat you. And if they lose, it's like, we weren't really playing anyway. So, I don't know. This is kind of funny.
You can't lose.
Yeah, exactly. Liyab, I was gonna compliment Liyab's comp, too. They have a really nice, just a very balanced comp where they have pretty... damaging characters in the backline, really characters that you really want to get to, right? And it's hard to get to their front line, which is just going to jump on top of you. So it's just one of those comps that really felt good to me. And then I look over at Sengoku like, oh.
What is going on right now? I mean, I think, you know what, interesting drafts. I'm intrigued to see how that's going to be working out, as we are going to be having a little bit of an early game push coming on through from Sengoku Gaming. Get some nice damage down onto the Lulu. Going to be very respectful of that one all around. But it seemed like they're shifting back to mid already. And we got already a good jungle pressure coming out from the Lee Sin. He's already in the jungle trying to pick up the blue. He does secure it. But now the thing is, you don't have too much information. You're seeing Sengoku, there's not much information. You see the Ezreal, you see the Varus. Where's the rest of the team? They might be going for an invade towards blue, which is indeed what I think is happening, as they are going to go and scout.
Yeah, I think there was an invade from Sengoku as well, where they got the blue. So it might be just a trade here, as obviously Dejiwo was in this outline. I'm trying to remember who the support was. I think it was Dejiwo who was the actual support of this team, and then SLASHmooN was their ADC carry. like 80 attack damage carry. And then I think Curse was their Baron laner, so they're kind of mixing up the roles as well.
I think it's fun. They're trying to break the meta. They're trying to break the mold, which, meta cringe, not going to lie. Come on. We're going to see how they're going to be trying to play around this one all around. But I think so far, the two teams are playing pretty respectfully. They tried to go for some early game peaks, but because of the positioning of the respective teams on the other side, they were just making sure that invades would be a really hard thing to do at task and at hand, so they're just going to be taking that one very slow. But mid lane getting pushed into really heavily. Orianna's going to be getting some good lane pressure, as Orianna does, which I think she is one of the best, if not the best mid laner currently, if it is available. But Garen is going to be going for the engage in mid there. 3v3 currently happening. We're going to see if they can try and take it, as Lee Sin's going to try and disengage that fight entirely. He's getting chased down. Same for Orianna and Lulu. They're going to be going on the back foot, and they cannot take that fight any further. It seems like the heavy poke coming out so far from Sengoku is actually rewarding them.
Yeah, I now you know what it feels like to cast circles on a minimap. They did a really good job.
Like, that circle is moving away. He seems in danger.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to look at those health bars. You got to look at who's engaging whom. But yeah, the funny thing about Sengoku is, despite going for a troll comp and kind of like mixing up their roles, they just can't help themselves and play like a completely standard game. Right? Every single game they played so far, they played super safe. I mean, even when they had, if they just push, they would have like a 99% chance to win. They're like, no, we're going to go for 100%. And so they just can't help themselves. They have to go for like the clean, the fundamental game, even when they're going for a troll comp. I love it.
Yeah. I think many Sengoku here are really trying to aim on getting a good early game phase. Like, because they got, once again, a comp that's so reliant around poking, that if they fall behind, that poke is going to be rendered basically useless. And like characters like Lee Sin that I've been hyping up throughout the draft phase, as short as the draft phase might have been, he's the character you're mainly going to be looking out to. And also because I think Lee Sin is still one of the most reliable characters in this game. But Lee Sin gets the information, pokes it down onto the Seraphine, not going to commit as he doesn't have the backup of his teammates. But Garen kind of going to get stuck in a little bit of an itty-gritty position, but he will be able to just ease his way out of that one, hopefully at least, as Drake is going to be fought over.
Yeah, exactly. You see the red dots on the minimap. They're really just forcing the dragon here, pushing Liyab away. And can they get it?
I mean, they're just zoning it. And once again, their comp is made for zoning. That is what they can do, and they are doing it real damn good. The Drake is going to be down to about 50% HP, but Gambit going in for the 1v1 versus Seraphine, trying to take the kill, will not be able to catch up onto it, unfortunately, but the Drake is still going to be chunked down by Sengoku Gaming, as Gambit is just going to be respectful. He has to move away, but it's time to go for the push. It's time for the fight. There's going to be a full-on war between these two teams. They're going to be losing already. One of the players on the other side is going to be Seraphine, out of commission entirely, as Gambit, he's on the front line solo. 1v3, can he take it? I think not. He does get taken down by the Vayne eventually, as now Drake is going to be a pretty easy pickup for Sengoku Gaming.
Yeah, 3v1 here in the kill count in favor of Sengoku, and they get the dragon. Let's take a look at that replay. We had the wild growth come up pretty early in that fight. I like how Liyab came in early to try to, just poke at the Seraphine. She had to get away early, but as the fight started, just so much damage coming out of the Garen of all people. They're able to finish that off, and Gambit just gets a little bit too far forward, gets focused down 1v3, and just really good kind of engaging and disengaging here from Sengoku, making sure to not let anyone fall, and then baiting some of the members of Liyab into the fight.
I think something really important to keep in mind is also that for Liyab, they did not have Lee Sin around for that fight entirely, almost. Like, they were lacking the Lee Sin. If he was there, that would have been a completely different ball game. I can't wait to see, but top lane, oh, but there you go. That's going to be an easy frag coming on through. Seraphine goes bye-bye. Back to the lobby you go. As now, Garen going to go for the 1v3. Ultimate coming on down instantly, but unfortunately, the damage will be negated by the shield of Miggie on that Lulu. As now the Rift Herald has now spawned, could get picked up eventually in this game if they want to, but now, seeing how things have been going so far, I gotta say that we are seeing Liyab in a pretty decent position if they can take a full-on head fight, because once again, poking can only take you so far. If you are taking a fight that goes on for a long period of time, it should be going over to Liyab unless a big mistake occurs.
Okay, really quick, I think that you might be a bit behind. Are you looking at Dave's screen share, or are you looking at the streams themselves?
Oh, I was looking at the Lubixx stream of Liyab.
Right. Yeah, I think because I was noticing you're a little bit behind. Anyway, looks like a fight's breaking out on the screen share from Dave here, as taking a look at Dejiwo's perspective on that Ezreal, and getting quite a bit of damage in as they're fighting over this Rift Herald.
Yeah, Sengoku is going to try and get a nice little bit of poke down. So many shields coming on through, but unfortunately, the poke has been paying off for Sengoku Gaming, keeping him abroad and away from this fight entirely. As there it is going to be time for the engage from Garen. Unfortunately for him, he's going to get absolutely melted to the ground, and they're going to be down to a 4-man team, but they did find Orianna in the process, which is big. They're going to be taking down also that Herald. The Herald was picked up by the Vayne, so that's going to be allowing him to get a little bit of an extra push. They need to secure this mid lane turret if they can, or any kind of turret just to get more access to the enemy jungle. So that was a big fight coming on through for Sengoku.
Yeah, pretty sloppy here from Liyab, letting their Lee Sin die after they gave it the Rift Tail. The only thing really going for them was that they were able to take the turret earlier before that fight kind of even started. And now, as you can see, this Rift Herald's pushing into that top lane and already got one. We'll see if it gets two.
Might be able to find a second. I mean, there's no one contesting it. There's 2-man team coming out from Liyab down in the mid lane. Going to have Lee Sin going to try and contest it away. I think he will have one ram into the tower, which is indeed what he's going to get. There's some extra few plates coming their way overall. But the map pressure right now is going to be definitely increasing pretty heavily for Sengoku, as a lot of players are currently standing in mid lane for Liyab. And they want to try and shift away from that one. But mid turret is also just about to fall. If they can breach that one down with their amount of poking once again, that'll be a huge W coming the way of Sengoku. So their focus should be on pushing mid. And once the Drake spawns up, it will be to go for Drake once again, because they need to get there early. If they don't get there early, they just can't use their comp to their full potential. They need to zone away from the Dragon Pit itself. And if they can do so, they might be able to easily cap it for themselves.
You know what's funny is that even though it seemed like a troll comp, I think that Sengoku might actually think that this is serious, and they're just using this kind of exhibition match as a way to test it out. Maybe they've been playing this on the ladder, because this is looking really good for them. So much damage, just so much poke from their side, and it seems like Liyab's having a hard time dealing with it.
Yeah, I think the comp overall, it is a hard execution kind of level, but if you can pull it off properly and not fall behind, you should be good to go. I would potentially not pick a Garen. I think that there's a lot of a lot better picks than a Garen, and also maybe a support other than Lulu to actually serve as that front line. But overall, you know what? If it's working for them, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's been working out good. But Drake is about to pop up onto the minimap, and they're going to try and take it for Liyab, as Ezreal going to engage, initiate with that ultimate, try and find some good initial damage. He does get some nice poke down, but unfortunately now Ezreal's going to be split away from his teammates, taken in one by one by the Kai'Sa. Flashback into the pit, as now the Drake is going to be going lower and lower. We'll try and reset, but he does get smited away, secured by Sengoku Gaming, as now this fight seemed like we'll go into a stalemate position, as Darius is going to be left stranded in the mid lane, and he will try and move away from this one and get a little bit of an extra push. But that's going to be an ultimate from the Varus right off the bat. A nice slow too. And that's going to be it. Gets smited down by that Garen. And that is going to be all said and done. One frag coming away of Sengoku.
Beautifully done by the Varus there. The funny thing is, it was such a good route that everyone just kind of missed. They were like,
what's happening?
Yeah, they went wide after he was already rooted. It's like, oh, he's dodging by, he's standing still. Anyway, take a look at this fight. This was very interesting, right? Obviously, a ton of damage going on to this Ezreal here, but that was all the damage that Liyab had to dish out. The other members were getting zoned out. They just walk back in, take the dragon, like, all right, peace. We're not going to fight you if we don't really have to.
Yeah, I mean, that's all they were going to try and focus on that game all around. So that was great still coming on from them. And they've been securing Drake after Drake. They got the Herald too earlier, so they are definitely in a really, really good position when it comes down to it for Sengoku. And now they're ahead. And that was my biggest issue, is if they did tend to fall behind, that was where they were just going to completely crumble to pieces and struggle. But they are really holding their ground so good. And I want to see them get to the point of when they're going to try and siege. When they get to the point of just keeping everyone at bay and just keep on harassing these towers or harassing these global objectives, that's where I think the composition of Sengoku really will shine through, as they have a little bit of a push in mid, not too much happening so far, but they need to hold on strong for Liyab. They need to hold on strong to that mid lane tower. If they lose it, unfortunately, they're going to lose so much control around the map, and I don't think it will be possible for them to almost do a comeback once again, unless a big mistake occurs.
One thing to look for into these team fights, though, is Miggie's use, the Lulu's use of her Wild Growth ultimate, right? It seems like she's using it way too early in these fights. I mean, credit obviously to Sengoku for forcing it out, but it seems like every single Wild Growth, and we've seen at least 3 so far, has been pretty ineffective.
Seeing Garen going to be caught out, unfortunately, down in that bottom lane position, and he's going to be taken down once again. Lulu picks up the kill. Hey, you know what? I'm not having a carry Lulu position. I'm not. I do the same.
She wants the damage. She wants that damage.
She wants that damage, baby. You want that AP in your build. But of course, they're going to try and rotate and get back to the full-man squad so far. Varus and also the Garen now down. So this is definitely a fight that Liyab will be taking for themselves as they can avoid it. But unfortunately, I think they can't, as their ally's going to be revived. That's going to be an instant route coming out from the Seraphine. Also trying his best to get some good damage. They do find one kill. The comeback is maybe happening, making it happen. 3v5. And they do push them away from that fight. Liyab back in play once again. God damn, that was a clean one.
Yeah, very well executed by Liyab there. You're starting to see the shortcomings of the side of Sengoku because once Liyab started picking up those GAs, it just made it so that Liyab had to stay in the picture, or excuse me, Sengoku had to stay in the picture for so much longer. And then they just don't know how the hit bars to even stand in that place. Obviously, the wild growth comes out very well done, makes Darius almost unkillable. And in fact, he does not go down as they are able to clean up afterward.
All good so far. Gonna have a nice replay from that fight. Overall, I think it was definitely an overstep from Sengoku Gaming. They should have just, like, you know, took what they got, which was a few frags, and just left that fight entirely. But unfortunately, they did try and overstay their welcome, and they did pay the price for it. Drake is going to be coming up in a few seconds. It's going to be a Cloud Drake. So if you want to get some good cooldown reduction on your ultimates, that is definitely going to be the way to go. As Garen, once again, pushing a little bit forward, not going to get too much just yet, but mainly you're focusing for the side of Sengoku also on that Seraphine. If she can initiate and negate the ultimate of Lulu by just pulling off that charm, that would be such a good playmaking situation. But unfortunately, as of right now, I haven't seen that happen too much. I want to see those great initiations and then the follow-up on those initiations. If they can do so, I really think Sengoku can take the entire game and the entire series, but they have been doing a few mistakes, falling apart right now. Hopefully, that's not going to be happening too often.
Well, okay, Kaisa actually didn't get that red buff.
Yeah, I was about to say, did she miss it?
She did. She did. It's still there. Oh, that's just a feels bad. It's like, yeah, I got it. I don't got it. Anyway,
we'll forget about that.
One thing to keep in mind is that the Seraphine is actually not played by their normal support player, so that's part of the reason why perhaps she's missing her charm on that ultimate. But it looks like we have another skirmish heading up around this dragon.
Yeah, Liyab going to be going for the engage, focusing straight onto that. Garen, unfortunately, you just cannot tank it too much, and that's going to be Kaiser just rooming on through, picking up the kill. Lulu ultimate trying to buy some time, but unfortunately is going to be rendered useless, my friend, as now they're just stacked up at the three-man squad, and they're going to get absolutely melted to the ground. That's a one, that's a two, and that's also a third after. That's going to be the end of the Zhonya, and all set and done. GG, well played. Ace coming on through from Liyab, and they're going to go straight to the Baron after picking up that Drake. What can you do to stop Liyab? Absolutely nothing.
You know, I was talking about the wild growth usage, and that was the first time I believe that we saw it on Kaisa when she was in an aggressive position. And you know, that's why you pick Lulu Kaisa, Max. You pick Lulu Kaisa, you put the wild growth on her when she's nice and beefy, when she's got those items, and honestly, it's a goodbye for the other team, especially when they're as squishy as Sengoku is.
Yeah, I mean, it's been working great overall. Like, normally you would see a lot of people have been talking to me about the Drake lane composition is usually Jinx and also Lulu, but like really Kaisa, if she hits the 2-item power spike and gets ahead, like she's an absolute beast of an ADC, and with Lulu is definitely going to be pairing off pretty well. Unfortunately, we're going to have ourselves Darius going to be caught out in mid-action. Unfortunately, as he's trying to move away from the bot lane, he does go.
Having a little bit of technical issues here, but
looking exactly what's happening.
There we go. We're back.
Oh, we're back. Oh, PogChamp, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the little bit of a tech issue. We are back into the action once again, and not much has changed since we last left.
Well, yeah, nothing's changed. The only one who's dead is the Darius, and they're pushing in. Liyab is pushing in, I should say, with these empowered minions, and the Darius going down is kind of a problem, but it looks like Liyab still got this game by the throat.
Yeah, I mean, Liyab are definitely on a position. But now they especially push that mid lane turret, so that's going to create a lot more space for them to try and play around. So overall, they're looking in a good spot. And they can just mainly do, as you mentioned at the start, you know, they're trying to siege it up, this position all around. Oh my god, trying to get some damage through. And that tower will unfortunately fall down. Liyab keeping some really good lane pressure, as Lee Sin is just split pushing up top. That might be a double tower pickup, as they are going to be rotating up top.
Yeah, you saw the massive damage coming out from the Orianna there. That's why she's one of the most powerful mid. Oh my goodness! What? She just snipes out Vayne, and in comes the damage from the Kaisa as well. What is happening?
Oh, Lulu ultimate onto the Darius trees, like, you're on Alistar now. You're going to tank turrets for us.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, almost a one-shot coming up through from Gambit. And that's going to be the tower again, absolutely obliterated by the side of Liyab. And there you go. You might question the comp at the start of that draft, but they do not. They believe, and they do take the first win of this BO3 series versus Sengoku Gaming. What a dub. What a drop. What? Insane. Really well played from Liyab.